Injured here, 3v3, Argent Shelf Redux, blue team. Triple Tyranids. First up is Dark Riku making a tunnel already with his Ravener Alpha. Great mobility with his tunnels. Good offense as well, starts off range combat. Alongside XPhial is a Lictor Alpha melee specialist that can infiltrate and disrupt with some great offense. And rounding out blue team is Floyd's big stompy Hive Tyrant melee commander that walks through cover and cannot be suppressed. Good offense and support. Starts off with a basic synapse. Looks like XPhial and Floid have the same colour scheme, which is going to be a joy. Red team, HansMoleman is an Eldar Farseer support commander that fights in melee combat. Has a lot of great buffs and debuffs. Sync kill there. Can she get a special attack on these Hormagaunts? Star Avengers are weighing in with range fire. There is a special attack, but she needs to run away. Alongside on a red team is Caeltos, lead designer of Elite Mod, as a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive commander with some good control abilities also. And rounding out red team is Commissar Yarrick as a Commissar Lord, good offense and support, fights melee. Starts off with this energy shield. This is Death Core of Krieg, recolored, and triple guardsman for Yarrick. This is 2.1 beta 9. I will be putting the notes in the description because there's a lot of them, lots of big changes in beta 9. Just trying to think of what affects this game. The Lictor Alpha's Flesh Hook is now down to 60-second cooldown from 70 seconds. Big changes for Tyranid infestation towers as well in tier 2, but we'll go over that when we see them. Flesh Hook on the Chaos Sorcerer there. Such an awesome starting ability for the Lictor Alpha. He is infiltrated as well. Sorcerer forced to retreat. Here come Heretics. Very fragile in their default state. Need to be careful. Double Termagants firing at them. Lictor Alpha's in there. They're going to wipe if they're not careful. Is supported by those triple guardsmen. We already have Flamer guardsmen up as well. Heavy infantry of the Chaos Space Marines standing firm in heavy cover. Now going to go and melee those Termagants who are forced off. A tunnel up here from Dark Riku's Ravener Alpha. Ravener Alpha got some really cool changes. Its acid splatter melee weapon, which is a splash damage melee weapon, is now power melee. The splash itself is not power melee though, that is still piercing. Good changes to hardened carapace as well, which now prevents knockback. Strengthened sinew also moved into tier 1, so lots of great changes for the Ravener Alpha, trying to make him a bit more dangerous in melee, since he's quite rarely used like that. 500 453. Star Avengers battle equipment is now slightly cheaper, 10 requisition cheaper, but it does not buff their damage any longer by 10%, as you can see reflected on the tooltip here. Spore mines moving in. There are some Howling Banshees. There's the Spore Mine detonation with some damage and suppression, but the damage is evenly spread so the Banshees do not lose a model. Another detonation. One more detonation might have wiped that squad. 500 4360. Chaos Sorcerer. His tier 2 global demonic summoning, which I often call circle summoning, which is wrong, which spits out blood letters for 15 seconds, now also allows his units to reinforce. So that's an awesome, very interesting change to that global, which was always a bit underwhelming. Did have some uses. $500 420, so 2-to-1 cap for blue team. Warrior Brood on the field for Dark Riku, also for XPhial, who has double Hormagaunts, double Termagants. Floyd going for a Warrior Brood of his own. We have pheromones up for the Lictor Alpha. We're able to support all of these Tyranids with these pheromones. And he's going for adrenal glands as well. Big engagement mid. That double Flamer Guardsman from Yarrick, I think it is. Very, very ballsy move. Those double Hormagaunts tying them up though. There is a Doom Blast from the Heretics. Doom Bolts going in and Havocs up from Caeltos. He has double Havocs. Caeltos very, very good at using double setup teams. We'll see how he does. We might see his double autocannon build, which he very often likes to use. Doom Bolts going in. There's a Flesh Hook though on the Chaos Sorcerer. Lictor Alpha forces him off. The Doom of Manantite, incidentally, has had some tweaks. Its Absorb Life ability, which drains health and gives it back to the Doom, has a reduced range. Also the Psychic Storm, which is such a powerful ability, has been nerfed to do 2% damage per tick and not 3%. Its basic attack now also heals the Doom of Manantite for less if it hits. Lots of dead Termagants here. maybe a grenade from those triple Dire Avengers. Look at this tier 1 build from Hans. Triple Dire Avengers, Banshees, and a Shuriken. The Farseer herself got some changes. Her Ghost Helm, Mind War reverted back to do more suppression, courage damage, so it will suppress faster. Also, her Farsight Global is now only 35 red, 500, 353, so single cap for blue team. Ravener Brood of Tyranids also got a price reduction, but it doesn't look like we're going to see any. Oh, we do. Floyd's getting some. Down to 350-40 now. I think their ranged weapons have been changed in price as well. They're Devourers. Dark Riku with double Warrior Brood. One with Barb Strangler, one in melee. This can be a very effective build for Tyranids, but he still needs to deal with this Guardian weapon team. No sign of the hardened Carapace trying to sneak in. What is this? XPhial coming. Oh, he's coming to use the tunnel. Red team perhaps should have pushed. They have no way of knowing that mid is quite sparse. Double Havocs are here covering each other. We now have artillery spotters. These guys, their tier 2 and tier 3 upgrades now only cost 75 rec, which is a great change for them, I think. Hans dominating the west side so far, trying to take out the tunnel. 478, 344, kicking off mid. Brood Nest goes down. Those flamers are nasty on those termagants. Here is the Ravener Brood. Start off as a power melee squad that can burrow strike. They can get a ranged weapon called a Devourer in tier 1. Hive Tyrant took tons of damage. No sign of his extended carapace to deal with these Havocs. Might just see a bunch of Zone Thropes in tier 2. 463, 344. Double setup teams always seems like a good idea versus Tyranids, but it can be very, very risky if you see the Zone Thropes in tier 2. Two Zone Thropes can be seriously annoying to deal with. Ravener Brood burrow striking right into Havocs and retreat. Dark Riku pushing through the west side with some help from XPhial here. Ravener Alpha is capping, now they're hitting power. 455, 344, everyone going tier 2. Tyranids going last. Quite heavy tier 1s from a lot of players. Double Warriors. XPhial lost one of his Termagant Broods. Looks like Floyd cancelled his Warriors and went for Raveners instead. These guys still in their melee state. Howling Banshees getting their Exarch. They have the aspect of strength. Give them the heavy melee. Executioner Spear, there it is on the Exarch. Huge engagement on this west side. Caeltos coming to pitch in, so is Yarrick. It's a 3v2 I think over here. Hard to tell with Floyd and XPhial both using the same scheme. Lots of Termagants and Hormagaunts dying. That was Hormagaunts dying. XPhial with his double Hormagaunts is obviously going to get Adrenal Glands for his Warriors to give those guys melee synapse. 455, 314. Chaos Space Marines for Caeltos already have their Eternal War, now getting their aspiring champion. Banshees chasing down the Raven Alpha. Are we going to see the acid splitter? 455, 304. Center is all red. Look at this. 2 Zinc Shrines gives a 10% damage resistance buff to Caeltos' stuff, and that will stack, so that's a 20% constant damage resistance buff. These things also shoot out Doom Bolts as well, so this is going to be very difficult for blue team to dislodge. And here we have an Infestation Tower. These things now down to just 35 red. They no longer generate biomass, so we can say goodbye to people trying to farm biomass by putting tons of them in base. They also now buff the speed of your army when they are out of combat. See how fast these Raveners are with that speed buff. As soon as they get into combat though, that speed buff disappears. And the huge change for those Infestation Towers is that they can now produce Spore Mines and Rippers at the cost of requisition. I think 150 rec and 100 rec respectively. So that is awesome. They take 10 seconds to be delivered. But it's an incredibly interesting change. And we're seeing a lot of Endless Swarm armies. As you can see, XPhial with Endless Swarm Hormagaunts, Floyd with Endless Swarm everything. That gives +2 models to Termagants and Hormagaunts. and they're taking advantage of this big speed buff for awesome mobility. Zone Throw already on the field for Floid, getting shots in. Hive Tyrants coming in. Wow, artillery spotters wiped there. No, it wasn't. They got into the building just in time. Zone Throw getting shots. Zone Throw does do decent damage to Garrison. What is that? That was nasty. Doom bolts. And something else, I think. I think that was the incendiary shell from the artillery spotters. Awesome. Shares a cooldown with their basic mortar shell, so you can't use both one after the other. 407294. Warriors losing a model with that cascading synapse shock afterwards. And they didn't lose a model. Here they are. Oh, this squad lost 2 models. 398, 294. Raven Alpha trying to decap mid, but needs to retreat. Still level 1 with no upgrades. Level 2, Lictor Alpha, no weapon upgrade yet. Hive Tyrant's level 1. I don't think he's got any war gear. Farseer has her rune armor. And Spirit Stone is such an awesome area of effect heal for her. Singing Spear on the way. Red team are facing triple nids, so they need to think about all of the monstrous creatures they're going to face in tier 3, Carnifexes and Swarm Lords. And they also have this Tyrant Guard to deal with from XPhial. Big engagement again. We have Marco Zinch, Chaos Space Range, which will do a lot of damage to that Tyrant Guard with its super heavy infantry armor. Lictor Alpha's gone down, and they're struggling to break through these Zinch shrines. Someone has put an infestation tower inside this demolished building, which might prevent it being shot down. Very, very sneaky by, who was that? That was XPhial. Zone Throat is still around for Floid. Artillery unit for Tyranids doesn't need to set up, and its projectile instantly hits, as you can see there. It doesn't do quite as much damage as other artillery pieces though. It doesn't have the range with them either, but does have an awesome health regen synapse. That was a Manticore strike from Commissar Yarrick. Heavy artillery piece with huge range and damage potential. I think this is a medical bunker though. Yes, we see health regen on his Chaos Space Marines. Red team now pushing through. They've edged forward, haven't they, with a bunker, double Zinch shrines. Really awesome synergizing play from Yarrick and Caeltos in mid. And we do see double auto cannons for Caeltos. The first one pushed up, the other one in that bunker there. 338, 294. They did decap, but the west is also decapped. Raven Alpha, sorry, Warrior Brood take it with Adrenal Glands. Zone Throat is up for Dark Riku, but runs away. And tier 3 for all of the blue team. Doom of Malantai already on the way for Floid. Just 450 for this thing. I do think it is still slightly too cheap. We will see if it gets any more tweaks before 2.1 final. This is set to be the last beta. 335, 290. Hive Tyrant in amongst a whole bunch of Guardsmen. Doesn't have any upgrades though. Looks like the third Guardsman squad has plasma guns. These things got a slight damage reduction. That Hive Tyrant is done for. All 3 Guardsman squads up to 12 models with their Commissar. Tyrant Guard self-healing with Shield Wall. And here is the first Doom of Malantai from Floid. Area of effect, damage over time specialist. This thing is so dangerous to pretty much everything apart from vehicles. Cannot regenerate energy naturally, needs to use abilities to regenerate energy. There's its basic attack, not quite as much damage as the Zone Throat, but does heal up the Doom if it hits. You see the smoke shell going up to try and counter the Doom there. Down goes Lictor Alpha again. The Tyranid commanders seem to be struggling to level. Only level 1, level 2 and level 2. Level 2 Farseer, level 6 Chaos Sorcerer for Caeltos. He has the Demon Armor and Rod of Warp Fire. Commissar Lord's level 5 as well, has the Power Fist and Aura of Discipline, which gives a heal, I think it's every 8 seconds. He's in retreat though. There's that massive Power Fist, 85 DPS heavy melee. No ability, but it is only 40 power. You have to pay 50 power for all of the other Power Fists in the game. 298, 288, 2-to-1 cap for Red Team. It's very close. Red Team have done very well mid. Here's that Tyrant Guard. Taking a lot of damage from these auto cannons though. This thing's almost leveled. There's a Manticore strike. Boom. But they're all reinforcing off this brood nest. And there's a Capillary Tower as well from Infestation. Here comes Hans to support. Eats a Barbed Strangler. That was nasty. There is the Psychic Storm from the Doom of Malantite. Look at the damage. Also, Absorb Life is up. There's an Imperial Abyss. Imperial Abyss, I should say, on those retreating Tyranids. Good grief. It's all kicking off around blue team's natural VP here. Still, that tower is up. These things cannot be crushed. You need to shoot them down. There is Dark Flames from Caeltos' Sorcerer Global Bart. That's the Basilisk Flare. Looks like they're finally going to take down this Capillary Tower. Down it goes. You only get 6 red from taking it down. Psychic Storm pretty much missed everything. Doom of Malantite needs to regenerate some of its energy. It's using its shield, which is draining it. Only has 11 energy, so cannot use any abilities now. Needs to use Absorb Life and or Spirit Leech to get some energy back. Cannot use Cataclysm or Psychic Storm without energy. 277, 270, 2-ton cap for blue. They have west side. Red team very strong in mid. I don't think blue team have even got near to their natural VP yet. But we are tier 3, they're going to have to start dealing with Carnifexes. Caeltos getting a Chaos Predator perhaps with Carnifexes in mind. HansMoleman going for Avatar. I don't think that's a good choice. The Doom of Malantite is so dangerous to the super heavy infantry super units such as the Great Unclean One and the Avatar. Also, you have Zone Throats and Tyrant Guards and most likely Carnifexes. 277, 248. Baneblade on the way for Yarrick. And that is a good choice if they can look after it. Perhaps get a repair bunker up. Zone Throat getting shots or hits terrain. Shuriken Cannon sets up. But Strangler does get a shot though, which has suppressed that Shuriken. Will take a long time to reload now and needs to back away. Plasma Grenade misses. Dire Avengers retreats. HansMoleman has preserved all 3 of his Dire Avenger squads, all level 2. Banshees finished a cap, and there's a retreat. 2-to-1 cap for red. 274, 245. Reasonably quiet in mid. Hive Tyrant now getting the bonded exoskeleton. It would be nice to see him try and use the Bioplasma against this Guardsman blob. He has lost the Guardsman squad though, Yarrick. Doom of Malantite has been subjugated by the Chaos Sorcerer. Look at this. Gonna go down though, I think. Tyrant Guard is in melee and that thing packs a punch. 95 damage per hit of heavy melee. Also has a 16 damage splash, which I think is also heavy melee. Chaos Space Marine is level 3. Marco Zinc CSM seem to nearly always get to level 4 in 3v3 matches anyway. 260, 243, 2-to-1 cap. Doom of Malantite is up for XPhial, prowling on the west side. Swarmlord on the way for Riku. And if he can combine... Whoa! Big Manticore strike, that was nasty. 260, 234. What level is that thing? It's level 2. As I was going to say, if you can combine the Swarmlord speed buff with the Capillary Tower speed buff, that's going to be nuts, because the Swarmlord speed buff, of course, also affects units in combat, unlike the Capillary Towers. It is the Avatar super unit for Eldar, hugely powerful in melee combat, lots of nice killy abilities, not to mention this Wailing Doom knocks back those Warrior Brood. These guys are level 2 though, with over 1600 hit points, over 1800 hit points even. 260, 212. Trying a formation, and that was a nasty one. These Imperial Guardsmen need to move. They're going to eat a big Capillary Tower in the face. Boom! Combined with Psychic Storm, that was nasty. They survived though. They do survive. They're level 3 and they will reinforce 3 at a time, so they're not too bothered about losing models. Wailing Doom on the retreating Doom of Malantite. Took quite a big chunk of health. Does start with 750 hit points this thing, and seems to generally level up quite freaking quickly. Floyd is still level 1 though. XPhial's already into level 2, and a Doom of Malantite on the way for Riku. Here is the Swarmlord. Super unit for Tyranids. Gives a speed buff and reinforcement synapse, and that is going to be nuts. Red team still holding mid, and Caeltos had a Great Unclean One with 2 Doom of Malantites on the field, soon to be 3. How long is this thing going to last? Now a Swarmlord for XPhial. This This is going to be a stacked tier 3. Where is the Baneblade? It's on the west side. 252191 needs to get a repair bunker over here, I think. Lictor Alpha infiltrated, still doesn't have a weapon upgrade. There is the Psychic Storm on the Great and Clean one. Look at the damage. Because it's psychic damage versus that super heavy infantry armor, it does so much damage. More than the 2% for sure. There is the big vomit thing. Demon armor. What is it called? The actual thing. Oh, Demonic Shield. Used on the Great Unclean one. Big Manticore strike though on those Tyranids. That is nasty. Don't think it wiped a squad though, and that is important because they're just reinforcing off the Swarmlord now. Great Unclean one is in there doing passive damage over time to nearby enemies. Has some really good abilities too. Foul Snare I think is his best ability. Taking so much damage though from the Psychic Storms. Caeltos needs to move this thing out. Does not have any worship nearby. Retreated his heretics I think. 227191. Kicking off mid. Now all 3 Dooms are on the field. There's an Eldritch Storm. Where is it? There it is. Tier 3 nuke from Eldar. What is this now? That's the Psychic Storm from Rune Armor. Oh no, Great Unclean one went down. It's a very long death animation. Big explosion which heals allies and damages enemies as well. 227191. Spawn Mines trying to take down this garrison. And Tyranids have pushed through mid. One of the shrines is down, but Chaos Terminators hit the field for Caeltos. These guys will also take a hell of a lot of damage from the Psychic Storm of the Doom of Malantai, but they can teleport out of it, of course. Chaos Space Marines are level 4, obviously. Floid lost a lot of stuff. Only has a Zone Throat, a Doom, and level 3 Termagants. His Hive Tyrant's down. Looks like he has Crushing Claws from the looks of the indicator. Raven Alpha down there as well. XPhial can get over there and get a whole bunch of XP if he revives both of them. Oh, Manticore went down. I think it was, yes. Dark Riku's Swarmlord goes and hunts it down. Awesomely done by Dark Riku. This thing has 2000 hit points of vehicle armor, unlike the Avatar and Great and Clean one, which are super heavy infantry. And a Carnifex on the way for Floid. Might see the march of the Carnifexes soon, and red team need to prepare for that. Yarrick replacing his Manticore. Need some las cannons and stuff, I think. Maybe some Kasukins with melter guns. 184191. Dark Riku with Warrior Brood, Zone Throat, Swarmlord, and a Doom of Malantai. Kicking off through mid. Swarmlord now on the field for XPhial, who has so much units they can't even all fit on his unit roster there. 2 Swarmlords to deal with, 3 Dooms to deal with, now a Carnifex to deal with, and this Tyrant Guard which is still around. Level 2 now. 164191. Chaos Terminators with their autocannon for Caeltos will add some very nice fire support versus these monstrous creatures. Baneblade coming in from the distance there. Here is a capillary tower. Looks like the Warrior Brood has been subjugated by the Chaos Sorcerer. Level 7 Chaos Sorcerer. 150, 191. Doom of Malantai is there. Loses energy though and retreats. Avatar with a Wailing Doom doesn't quite hit those retreating units flush. Caeltos is going to lose these heretics if he's not careful, and does lose them. 141191. Autocannon doing decent amount of damage to that Swarmlord. Good damage to all targets. This small area effect. Swarmlord using his Leech Essence though to heal up, and he was leeching off so many models there that he was healing up like crazy. There's a Psychic Storm and all this stuff. Won't affect the Baneblade very much. Spawn Mines dropped in. That was nasty from XPhial, but can't get a detonation off. The bunker did go down. Avatar goes down. Surprised it lasted as long as it did, really. Venom Cannon Carnifex for Floid. Awesome range damage to large targets. Needs to be steel to fire though. Also has the Bioplasm, which is area of effect ability. And levels to 2. Psychic Storm again. Banshees are still around. Still level. Oh, this is a new. Oh, it's not a new. Is this a new Banshee squad? I have no idea. But they're still level 1. Caeltos lost one of his Havocs. I think they were in that bunker. If a garrison is destroyed while you're inside it, you are instantly killed. 116191 west side. is not turning red, it's decapped. Here comes a whole bunch of Tyranids. XPhial doing a good job supporting west side, I think. 116, 191. Baneblade taking rear armor hits from this Venom Cannon Carnifex. Might get snared by that Zone Thrope as well with the Focus Warp Blast. Red team have lost this power, have lost the generators in a way. Full gen farm here though. Capillary Tower is up. Tyrant Guard is here. 116, 191. Kill Sorcerer, almost level 8. Level 7 Farseer. Level 7 Commissar Lord. Emperor's Wrath. Flat Jacket. And a Fist of Brockus now. So he's upgraded his accessory and his melee weapon again. Replaced one Power Fist with another one. Level 5 Lictor Alpha. Level 3 Hive Tyrant has the Crushing Claw and Bonded Exoskeleton. Raven Alpha level 3 with the Synapse Aura. Riku has a Carnifex of his own with the Venom Cannon. Manticore Strike misses everything. Everyone's standing off for now. 116, 171. It's very close, 2-1 for the Tyranids. Artillery spotters still around now have the heavy mortar cannon. Level 3 as well. Not sure if levels affects their mortar damage. I don't think it does. Spirit Leech from the Doom of Malachite. It was subjugated though. Now it's back under the control of Dark Riku. Eats an Emperor's Wrath, I think that was. Yes. Huge engagement here. Baneblade firing with all of its myriad of weapons. 2 las cannons, 3 twinning heavy bolters, mega battle cannon and demolisher cannon. Chaos Predators there with the Mark of Khorne buffing the damage of the side sponsored bolters by a whopping 75%. This thing can really shred through infantry. Big Psychic Storm here. 116, 139. That's another Manticore Strike there. Crazy stuff. The Baneblade's going to go down because this is a Venom Cannon Carnifex hitting rear armor now. These artillery spotters should be using the smoke shell on that Carnifex to try and save the Baneblade, but down it goes. Probably would have gone down anyway with the Swarm Lord there. Down goes the Baneblade then. Hans has a Fire Prism. Both the Swarm Lords still around. Now 3 Carnifexes on the field and all of the Dooms are still around. 116, 132. Tyranids powering through in tier 3. Fire Prism just about survives. Chaos Terminators did not lose a model. 116, 132. There's a Webway Gate. More Capillary Towers. Another Capillary Tower there. Level 3 Doom of Malachite for XPhial. Very nearly level 4 but doesn't have any energy. Riku's also very low on energy, just 15. Level 2. And Floyd's almost level to 4. In retreat now. 116, 126. Double Fire Prisms for Hans. Just to be careful, Zone Thrope could snare one, then Venom Cannon and Swarm Lord on it. Here comes that Doom. Needs to Spirit Leech something. I think it gives it back 80 energy using Spirit Leech once. Has Absorb Life as well, of course, to boost energy regen. 116, 111. 2-1 cap for the Tyranids. Still so close. Spawn Mines in amongst. Being produced from these Capillary Towers, of course. Magazine CSM. Dark Riku now getting another Carnifex. So we're going to have 4 on the field. Floating tons of requisition. XPhial floating tons of power. Caeltos. He might go for a Phobos. Just needs some requisition. Boom. Emperor's Wrath again. Was that? Yes. Commissar Lord now trying to decap. Lictor Alpha goes down again. He's gone down quite a lot. Capillary Tower being taken down. This is a Leman Russ from Yarrick. Needs to get the Vanquisher, I think. He's getting 2 Leman Russes. 2 Vanquishers could be good versus the Carnifexes. Otherwise, I think they're going to struggle. Tyrant running around with this 108 DPS heavy melee Crushing Claw as well. Even more damage than that at level 3. 11583. I hear a Psychic Storm. Where is it? It's there. 11283. Hands with the Wraith Lord on the way. Down goes the Leman Russ. Overextended by Yarrick and got some rear armor hits. Commissar Lord is level 9. Is he going to hit level 10? Do with Melantai for Floyd. Needs some energy back. There is Psychic Storm on those Terminators. Look at the damage. He's going to lose the entire squad and does lose the entire squad. That's a big blow. If their teleporter is not on cooldown or off cooldown, that Psychic Storm is so deadly to Terminators. 73, 83, 1-to-1 cap. Down goes the Fire Prism. Level 4, Doom of Melantai for Floyd. Level 2 and level 3 the others. 73, 83. Do red team have any nukes? Yarrick almost does. Looks like he lost something else. His spotter's still around though. Has an Executioner. Leman Rust is rapid firing plasma cannon. 73, 79. West side is blue. Hands going after a Carnifex. There's another Thornback here from Riku. And there is Psychic Storm. These Banshees are going to wipe. There is a very, very strange retreat, but they do get away. Now the Wraith Lord in big, big trouble. 73, 65. Carnifex with the Venom Cannon will still hurt you in melee combat. There is Time Field from the Farseer. Armor of the Assyrian, she's level 7. What's going on here? 2 Venom Cannon Carnifexes, both from Floyd. Making the Leman Russ back off. This one's level 3. 73, 51. Another Psychic Storm, not doing a whole lot to that Predator, but it does back off very low. There's a Rocket Run. Don't think it's going to do a whole lot to those Carnifexes. Did reasonable damage. 73, 45. 2 more Carnifexes now. These are Dark Pricus in here. Can Hans ninja this west side? There are 2 Lictors here. One of them the Lictor Alpha and a tier 3 Lictor with that heavy melee damage, leap and flesh hook. There's one flesh hook from the Lictor Alpha, that one. Doing Melantai's there, draining energy from the Farseer, which is now out of range. 73, 22. There's the double cap for the Tyranids. Looks like they are going to take this. There is GG from XPhial. One awesomely epic game. Tyranids lost so much early on, but bounced back with this storming tier 3 with these capillary towers, giving them huge amount of mobility. There's the triple and the Tyranids take it. Awesome game. Did the Commissar Lord hit level 10? No, he didn't. Level 9. Level 8 Sorcerer. Level 7 Farseer. Level 4 Raven Alpha. Level 6 Lictor Alpha. Had the Menacing Visage at the end. And level 4 Hive Tyrant. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you next time.